All right. Hey, thank you so much, Tracy, and thank you, Ryan, backstage, and the whole IndyCade team. It's so great to be here. So, yeah, Gordon Bellamy, part of the USC Games team, and we're talking about indie games and streaming. Real quick. So, for me, this is how my mind works. I always need a table of contents, otherwise talks drive me crazy, even 10-minute ones. So, purpose about USC Games, the 5 borders, the most important border, and thank you. That's where we're headed. You'll know when we're near the end. So, purpose, my purpose. I love helping people get from point A to point B who don't know how. That's why I teach. It's why I play dodgeball. It's why I'm here today. That's my purpose. And the purpose of this discussion is to help developers extract the most value and independence as games evolve from authorships to service. And by service, I don't mean games as a service. What I mean is that there's an ongoing relationship that we now have with the people who play our games that didn't exist way back in the day. Back in the day, games were authored more like books, and you would receive them at the bookstore or game store, and we were far removed from those relationships. So, quick note, if you want to learn more about USC Games, here are some links that I'll put in the chat, but here's a great overview link, games.usc.edu. You can learn more about our esports at that link, and you can learn more about some specific games that we highlighted in our Games Expo at this link below. But don't worry, paste in the chat. So for me, it's a lot like Risk. Everyone has played Risk. I'll expect in the crowd, if not, Google Risk. And I feel there are 5 basic borders of independence that we as creators need to defend, or someone will extract that independence from us. Okay, so one is design, and we're going to take incredibly deep talks, a reservoir of information about the design and nuance of the design craft. The second one is monetization. And by that, I mean, if you don't govern the monetization of that which you create, someone will govern it for you. And then you will not stay independent, even though you may have had the best design. The third is something that's relatively new, which is player customization of experience. And in this generation, there's much more of an expectation that sometimes even before a button is even pressed or an interaction is made, that the player will have agency over their customization. Can they represent themselves, who they want to be, who they aren't, before they engage with your content and with your experience? The fourth, which is super important, which relates to streaming, is the relationship with the player. And whether that be over the PlayStation Network or Amazon, in your Discord, in your WeChat, in your Twitch, in your YouTube, in your Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, there's a relationship with the actual player that, once again, if you're not a part of it, someone else will be, and you will ultimately lose your independence. And then there's the most important border, which I'll get to in a second. Real quick, some history, relationship with the player. Back in the day, and even to this day, there's been a great battle over credits. And by that, I mean identifying that you as an individual contributed to the creation of some content. And credits were important for not only sort of getting jobs, but even for recognizing that people made games, right? That these great experiences were sourced by people like you, like me, like everyone you've seen today and will see after me, that our craft is a human one, and there's value in that. Human value beyond just the revenue which is generated by the products. This battle sort of overlapped with a battle with media. And by that, I mean who actually got to speak to the media about our creations. So back in the day, developers were displaced by marketing and media relations from actually having a direct relationship with the media, which was generated around their games. And the media was much of the conversation, whether it be like in a Game Pro or an IGN or wherever you got your news about games. Now, there's a living, breathing conversation going on long before most games come out, whether that be on Reddit or Twitter, where everyone is, or Instagram or Twitch. There's a conversation that's going on. And once again, if you as creator are displaced from that conversation, well, then you're going to be displaced from your independence because someone else is going to be controlling and governing the conversation around what you create and what you contribute. And then there's the most important border, which we don't talk enough about, which is your health and safety. And I think it actually all begins here. Before you tweet, before you Twitch, before we stream, before we talk about it, your health and safety is the most important border that you're going to navigate for the remainder of your career. Okay? Because if you don't have that, none of your other borders are going to matter. It's not going to matter how cool your design is. It's not going to matter whether your game was free to play, 1999, black subscription. None of it will matter to you if your health and safety are impinged upon by what's going on around your games and creation. So I say to you, if you take nothing else from this 10 minutes, go to this link. Sorry, I'm pointing at it because I'm pointing at my screen because I care like that. privacyrights.org resources. And I will paste it in the chat. Like, do not pass go, do not collect $50. I don't care how cool you are, how many awards you won, don't matter. Okay? This is where you should begin to engage and think about your own self, okay, and your own identity to the degree that you want to be public facing in whatever media going forward, okay? The second link is a very interesting one. So this is one where Twitch actually started a Twitch Safety Advisory Council because even they recognize, like, wow, there might be some concerns that people are running into. All of you are very smart. You'll look this up and then you'll Google it and you'll find that even this council designed to defend you lasted about 5 days before the internet tried to swallow it whole, right? And these were people who were literally beacons of expertise, like with doctorates and, well equipped to focus on this concern. So start there, like start with these explorations, like 1 and 2. Then when you feel conviction and confidence, there's actually a creator camp for you. Twitch has done it for you. Some very basic instructions about all the fun things: finding your camera, finding your microphone, picking a handle, streaming regularly, which will be great. However, if you skip the first 2 steps, I assure you, you'll be back to them at some point because nothing more important, like health and safety. Pretty please, pretty please. So that's my talk. Call to action. How do we make this world better for us as creators? The number one thing you can do, in my opinion, is follow each other, whether that be on Twitter, on Instagram, on anything people put out there, because by building a healthy community of ourselves, supporting each other, that's going to be like a healthy buffer of conversation when external people who maybe don't have your best interest at heart come into your streams, into your Twitters, into your Twitches, into all of these things. Knowing that you are part of a community which is more than yourself. I'm 27 years in. Like, trust, it's the people that you can call and that you can talk to who are sharing this voyage, who are going to be the most relevant to you in building your value as a creator going forward. Anyway, that's that. That's my introduction to streaming. This is my info if you want to email me offline. This is my LinkedIn if you want to contact me in more of a business sense. And thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for caring about yourselves enough to show up for yourselves today here at Indiecade to meet everyone in the room. Thank you.
Hey, that was awesome, Gordon. And did you mention, did I just miss it, that you're actually teaching the brand new streaming class?
Oh, sorry, advertising. So yeah, I'm learning too. So always learning. I'm actually teaching Introduction to Streaming for those who are in the USC ecosystem. CTIN 222 is the course. And once again, even that course, and this is really important, is not about putting you out there to be consumed by the public. Right? That's not what it's about. It's about learning and understanding the ecosystem and who's extracting value from you as you begin to stream. Because if you don't understand it, right? If you don't know that the water you're jumping in has piranha in it, right? And you're trying to tread water, then you aren't really prepared to jump in the water. So anyway.
Yeah, that's a great new addition
to
the
talk.
curriculum. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you.